Thank you so much, Mallory. And hello, everyone. My name is Tom. I'm originally from England, and I moved to Indonesia in about 2013 because I discovered my passion for scuba diving back in the early 2000s. And I fast realized that this is the place I wanted to work and eventually spend my life. Um, so initially in 2014, I started to look for ideas about having a scuba diving center and running trips like this. And then I stumbled upon, as you may see on your screen, which is a wooden pinisi, which is an Indonesian style liveaboard. Well, it was originally used for cargo, and the concept is devised from what we think is like a Dutch schooner. They hand make them in one of the islands in Indonesia, which is called Sulawesi, and it's from a tribe called the Bugis. And primarily, the boat is made from about 169 tons of wood. The majority of it they would call ironwood. And then all of our finishing is in like a warm tropical teak. Um, so when we came across this boat, it'd been developed by a very avid German diver in Indonesia. But unfortunately, he was trying to operate around Bali, but there wasn't really the need for liveaboards. And my personal dream was always to go to Raja Ampat. I'd always bought the books while I was teaching diving, and I wanted to go to the most marine biodiverse place on the planet. Um, what sparked my interest was that I couldn't afford to go at the time. So instead of saving up and going on a dive trip, I decided to buy a boat and go and live and operate there. And this is where the concept of Galigo comes. So Galigo is it's really built for comfort. Like I said, it was designed by a German engineer who was a diver. Um, and the one thing that we fast learned with Gallagher was that from my history, which is I was previously a sommelier and a hotelier, I fast realized that the scuba diving in Raja Ampat and Indonesia in the whole is absolutely amazing. But what I really missed from home was my family. So all of our staff who've been with us since about 2014, we really like to keep it like a real family vibe. And as you can see from the boat, with the classic red sails and with all the woodwork, we like to think of ourselves as like anchored in tradition. So the boat itself, the layout, is spread across 7 cabins. We have our suite cabin, which I named after my wonderful grandmother, which is called Stella. And then we have 2 master cabins on our upper deck. And then below we have our deluxe cabins. As you can see, they're all catered out in warm teak. And all our cabins have air conditioning, hot water, and American spring mattresses. And the lovely thing about our boat is we have enough space that we can convert between twin and doubles in all of our cabins. So if you and your friends want to come or you and your partner want to come, we have a lot of flexibility within the vessel to cater to exactly what you need. Our onboard facilities, during the day when you're not diving, we have a fantastic indoor salon. Sorry, we'll just get the slideshow up to date. There we go. So we have an indoor salon with a big widescreen TV. And it's in this area where we also have our charging facilities and our camera tables. Um, and obviously, throughout, you get wonderful views. And then during the daytime, when you want to soak up the sun or the ocean breeze, we have our wonderful sun deck on the roof, which provides lots of ample shading because obviously we live on the equator and it's quite warm. But there's obviously, we have bean bags and we have lounges there. So we've really tried to make the boat comfortable home away from home for our guests. You may be in a strange country, but when you're on board, we want you to feel at home. So obviously, when you come diving, we offer trips between 8 days and 12 days, and we like to offer you the full package. And with my history in hospitality, food is quite a big thing for us. And obviously, when you go diving, you end up very hungry. So we actually offer 4 meals a day. And then snacks. So most of our guests leave having put on a few pounds, even though we offer what is essentially unlimited diving. So we'll do 4 dives a day. And then post each dive, we will have, there we go, thank you. Post each dive, we'll have yummy, yummy snacks. And we do offer Indonesian fusion food, but we also cook Western. Like I said, most of our staff have been with us for 10 years, and it's not because I've trapped them on the boat. It's because they're wonderful human beings, and our chef Dede is particularly fantastic at his job. And for those of you with vegan and vegetarian dietary preferences, we're happy to cater towards you, of course, being it 2025. And then we also have a fully stocked bar with beers, wines, and spirits. Um, so yeah, with our diving experience, so myself, having been an instructor for over 15 years, there are a few pillars that we like to build the company on. And the first, which we like to think attracts our American friends, is our customer service. Indonesia, the people here are very proud, but they can be quite shy. And we spend a lot of time and focus on ensuring that we can provide wonderful customer service to Americans, because from my experience in the US, that's the pinnacle of customer service. So we really put effort into that. But also there's a huge element of safety, because we understand that people look at a wooden boat and they worry. And of course, we are way above industry standards. In terms of our engine room and our compressors, and also our staff training. We are incident free with guests and other incidents since 2014. So when you guys go diving, we actually are the only boat in liveaboard, only liveaboard in Indonesia, wooden, that has a dedicated dive deck. What this does is it means that your journey from the dive deck into our tender, which you can see, is a very, very easy one. And then from the back of the dive deck, you're served with a 6 and a 9 meter tender. And when you come on board, we don't expect you to lift a finger. If you're a bit like me and you get a bit fussy with people handling your equipment, of course, we're very happy to let you carry your own equipment. But many times our guests come on board and they leave and they're just like, "Oh, I didn't lift a finger the whole trip." Of course, we're producing nitrox on board, up to 36 EANEX. And yeah, we blend on board. We have a professional gas blender on board, full staff. And even if you're not nitrox certified, we do offer courses for our longer trips. I'm assuming I'm talking to a room full of divers here, but you'll know that nitrox over 12 days just makes life a little bit easier and a little bit comfortable. So I know that we do have a special on for ScubaCon, that we're happy to offer you free nitrox for the next year or so. But obviously you can go through Dreamweaver to talk about this. So our professional dive team, these three guys are probably my favorite three guys on the planet. The guy in the middle, his name is Fendi. He is our chief dive instructor. He is a multi-time national award-winning macro photographer. And the guy on the left is Unke. He is our instructor on board. And the guy on the right has been diving about as long in Raja Ampat as I ever have been diving in total. So you're probably looking at about 20 years. These are my favorite guys, and really these are the people that make the Galigo. With our diver guide ratio, our maximum is 5 to 1. However, we do like to try and pull that down to 4 to 1. And obviously, because we're all versed in tech diving, cave diving, we have a good idea about our level of customers that come on. We're a divers liveaboard, and we do actively promote that we look for divers. We're not particularly a snorkeling liveaboard, but for myself and my business partner Nick, who's from Australia, we got into this for the scuba diving. So for us, critical key part of it. Keep that. Okay. So in terms of briefings, where are you going? Hold on, my apologies. A couple of technical issues here. So one of the things you might find if you Google us, especially if you look on Google reviews, is our customer service. We're consistently praised as one of the best in the region, and we have been voted the best liveaboard in the world in 2016. And it always harks back to our staff. What we realize with the boat is, and obviously you guys vacation maybe multi times a year doing the same thing. What we can't market and what we can't sell is the experience and is the feeling. Obviously, we try our best, but many of our guests they leave Le Galigo, and we all keep in contact with them, and we like to call you part of the Le Galigo family. It might sound a bit cheesy, it might sound a bit tacky, but it's generally one of the things that really keeps us going. And we're always really happy to make new friends. So yeah, safety first. There we go. There's a couple of reviews for you. So yeah, like I mentioned previously, we take safety very, very seriously. We fully stocked with GPS navigation, life rafts, fire extinguishers, first aid, oxygen. We have oxygen for about 20 hours breathing oxygen in total. The reason is because a lot of the diving that we do is remote, and you can be a long way from a chamber. Like I mentioned previously, we are incident free, but it's always best to throw caution to the wind. Yeah, please move on. Thank you. So, I'd imagine you may or may not have heard about some of the diving in Raja in Indonesia. Like I said, when I came to Indonesia, my preference was to eventually go to Raja Ampat. Raja Ampat's often called the crown jewel of marine biology, and it hosts the most diverse reefs on the planet. So our reefs in Raja Ampat and our trips, sorry, they last between 7 and 12 days. And Raja Ampat is a huge regency where in the north we have all these dramatic limestone cliffs and then some stronger drift diving. In the center, you have the very well-renowned Dampier Strait with some amazing amazing dive sites like Cape Cree, Blue Magic, and specifically Melissa's Garden. And then in the south, we have Mizul, which for myself personally is a true highlight. Other destinations we visit, you may or may not heard of Lembe. Lembe is pretty much the macro heaven of Indonesia. And obviously on the screen you can see some of the species that we rarely spot often spot. And yeah, we also close to Lembe. We also visit North Sulawesi. So North Sulawesi is just the southern part of the Philippines. Sorry, at the southern part of the Philippines, and a lot of it is left unexplored. What we realized after years of diving in Raja Ampat was that I wanted to kind of go off the map a bit, and we have scouted the area around Lembe and Bangka, and also Halmahera. And there are a lot of deep sea channels in between the islands that still possess the opportunities to see things like hammerheads and all the frogfish that I love, which is my personal thing. So we do kind of go off the map a little bit, and we do often have encounters with things like whale sharks. And yeah, if you're anything like me, you like to go around and collect all your photos and nudie pranks. Unfortunately, my photography skills aren't great. So Fendi, who I mentioned previously, generally what I do is I just give him my camera and then I take the photos back and pretend to show off. Also with our land tours, I know you guys in the US, you have manatees. Over here, we have dugongs, very closely related. And in Raja Ampat, we have the birds of paradise. And then in Sulawesi, we have the tarsiers. And places like Mizul and in the north, usually around the jetties, we have baby schooling black-tip sharks. So all in all, it's a real complete package. So obviously you would have heard many pictures from other liveaboards and other boats, but why might you choose us? So initially, authentic Pinisi sailing. I must admit, when I bought the boat, I was 30 years old, and for about a year or two, I thought I was Captain Jack Sparrow, but probably just slightly less attractive. But it really is an experience coming on board with us. As I mentioned before, we're very diver focused, we're diver designed. Every aspect of our boat is geared towards you, and with our dedicated cameras and our dive platform and dive tenders, we're really optimized for smooth operations. So as for myself, I'm getting a little bit older and my ankles are a bit jippy. Galigo for me is just a breeze. Like I don't have to lift anything. There's not many steps. The boat's full of anti-slip. Um, so whether or not you're a casual diver who racks up a couple of dives a year, or you're an avid enthusiast, we can really cater for you because our passion is shared with your passion. One of the things that I find makes us really nice is that we're a little bit smaller. What we find, excuse me, what we find with some of the steel hull boats and the fiberglass boats is that you can often run into 25, 30, 36 people. We top out at 14. We have a maximum capacity of a lot more. However, I lived on the boat for 3 years back to back, and I found that 14 was just our perfect number. It was quite easy for us to integrate everybody. And of course, we sell both scheduled itineraries and we sell private charters. But when we have scheduled itineraries, we get a diverse array of people. The majority of our guests are from the US, closely followed by the UK and Europe, essentially. But what it does allow us to do is provide exceptional exceptional customer care. You'll leave knowing all the guys' names because A, we print them on the shirts, but also we are very hot on our interaction with our guests, and yeah, all these guys you see on board, they all have a story and they're all amazing guys. And yeah, we like to offer something just that little bit different that you're going to leave with a really warm feeling. And our return guests are very significant just because of the way we handle ourselves with our customer service. Um, Another reason you might want to dive with us, obviously we offer top tier dive destinations. Wherever you look, you've dived Raja Ampat. I lived there for 3 years back to back, and I'm still now discovering new dive sites. But also our itineraries are very flexible. And obviously what we do is we schedule everything for optimal season for you to be there. Um, and yeah, if you want to customize charters, if there's anywhere particularly you want to go, then we're very happy to discuss. We can build bespoke charters based on your preferences. What do you want to see? Where do you want to be? What kind of diving do you want to do? We can be very flexible. Um, Another thing is our affordability and our value and the value that we add. For me personally, obviously, this is my business, this is my boat, but this is also my life, and we feel that we have priced very aggressively. When we initially entered Raja Ampat, like I said, it was too expensive. I found it too expensive for me to go dive there. What Legaligo did was completely open up the market, and we strive to do that now. We we love to offer service sorry, value for yeah, we love to add value. We love to add value to our services. This isn't a money grab. This is a passion project for us, but it's a passion project that keeps us going. Environmental responsibility. Obviously, we all need to be doing that in these days. However, we are a very, very proud member of Greenfins. What Greenfins is when you join your first trip with the Gallagher, when we have our checkout dive and when we have our slight refresher, we will also introduce you something called Greenfins, which is diving responsibly. Many of the areas that we go, they put a lot of pressure onto the operators to protect the region, and of course, we're a shareholder in Raja Ampat, Halmahera, Sangihe, but also with our guests. What we find is with this initiative that we onboard is that actually the guests are really happy to onboard it with us. Once we go down the green fins route, we also work with Manta Matcha. Personally, I work with WWF on sustainable and ecotourism. Um, So yeah, it's a key pillar of what we do, and of course our investment into these areas is we have to work with the mentality that we have to protect what we love. Um, so yeah, this is our pricing. I apologize. I'm much better at scuba diving than I am slideshows. Okay, service and support. So just give you a little insight, we understand that planning a vacation, planning a holiday, can be daunting. We have a wonderful team here based in Bali, that are very, very happy to handle your logistics when you fly over. We cannot book international flights for you, but what we can do is we can do all your domestic ground handling here. It doesn't matter if you come direct, if you come through Dreamweaver, all our guests receive the same level of support. Um, Booking flights here and hotels can be a little bit tricky. So basically, you don't even have to ask us. And also, when you book with us, we do offer a free DAN insurance policy for the duration of your trip. And what that will do, that will include medical evacuation. So it's a nice extra safety net for you. And then on board, we do have some extras that you can add on. For instance, we have brand new dive equipment every 3 years. Private dive guides for those who prefer one-on-one or avid photographers. And yeah, we do our best to be transparent with you. We're not into the business of hiding costs. Like I said, this is a passion thing for us. Um, And yeah, as I mentioned before, we do a lot of ongoing education, continuing education. So if you guys want to do advanced or underwater naturalist, dive against debris, things that work on the conservation side, we will often throw in for you. Because obviously there's benefit to all shareholders, and that includes people traveling to protecting our reefs. Um, and yeah, lastly, our support really doesn't end with your liveaboard trip. Many of our guests, they would want to spend some time in Bali or within Indonesia. And we have about 60 years of travel experience across the entire 18,000 islands of Indonesia. And we're very, very happy to make recommendations whether or not you want to come and see us in Bali and grab a beer or grab some dinner, or if you want to go trekking in Komodo, see the Komodo dragons, we're very, very happy to always help you. So just to conclude today, our company strapline is dive more, experience more. And I hope that even though I'm not very good with these things, I kind of conveyed what makes Galigo special to us, and that what might make it special to you. So to recap, we offer a adventurous, authentic liveaboard journey powered by passionate crew, top-notch professional service. It's always a fun and social atmosphere. So whether you come alone or with your friends, you're going to feel at home and on board. We offer to above professional standards in everything that we do. Professional standards and every safety procedure and customer care. And we all do this on the backdrop of Indonesia. And if you've never been, I would really encourage you to come. This place has been my home now for nearly 12, 13 years. And every day I wake up and the sunset is still amazing. And yeah, it's a wonderful place to be. So I'd really like to wrap up and just say thank you so much for having us, ScubaCon and Dreamweaver. Um, and I appreciate being provided the platform. I'm sorry if I'm a bit shaky and a bit nervous. Like I said, I'm more of a diver than I am a talker. But if you guys have any questions for us, or if we have time for a Q&A, I'd be delighted if I could help you out.
Yeah,
Oh, and
thank you.
by the way, sorry, we have our wonderful colleague Sabrina who will be at ScubaCon. And please go and visit her. We have a few ScubaCon specials for you guys.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you,
you, Erin. Thank you, everybody. I'm just seeing all the chat. That's really nice. I
Tom.
wish I'd read it while I was reading because now you've given me confidence.
Yeah, that boat looks amazing. I can't wait to come out and experience it for myself. we have a few minutes. We do have a few questions that we can go over really quick.
100%.
Somebody was asking, where you fly in and out of, and is it always the same place that you fly in and out of based on itinerary?
Okay, so the airport is known as Sorong. It's in West Papua, which is previous Irian Jaya. They've just made it a lot easier with Indonesia, and I think it depends in the US. If you're coming from the West Coast, it'd be a lot easier to fly via China or Japan and then work your way down. You would work your way into an island, into the island of Sulawesi, and in the north is Manado. And then if you were going for Raja Ampat, you would go to Sorong. If we were going to Sangihe, Lembe, or Halmahera, you would just stay in Manado. If you're going from the East Coast, a lot of operators will head east, and you may land in Jakarta or Bali, whichever is your preference. And within the past 2 years, they've now made a direct flight from Bali into Sorong. And the nice thing is it's a night flight. So when you guys land in Sorong or when you guys land in Manado, hopefully you've slept on the plane. You can jump off the plane, and then we put you on a speedboat, and you're bang into the diving. If that's your thing. But yeah, my thing is the diving, not the traveling. So.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. And thanks for all that info. I know there's a lot of like different areas to fly into, and Dreamweaver Travel can help book flights. So you just tell us the itinerary and we'll get them there. No problem. Do you guys offer rental gear?
We do. So we have full Scuba Pro and Aquila. So full BCD regs, and like I said during the presentation, we renew every 3 to 4 years. So yeah, we have a full rental. With our rental, regardless whether or not you want to pay for rental, we always provide DSMB for all our guests free of charge. That's a DSMB and a reel. And also, if you haven't used it in a while, we do offer training prior to, so during your checkout dive, we do a refresher with the use of DSMB, and we also provide computers free of charge. So even if you've forgotten yours, or if your battery's a little bit low, it's no drama. We can hand you one for the duration of your trip.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your presentation. It was awesome. If you guys have any other questions, you can visit them at ScubaCon in person. And if you guys are looking to book a trip on that amazing liveaboard, you can reach out to anybody at Dreamweaver Travel. Yeah, so we look forward to the next presentation. I think they put the link in the chat. And again, Tom, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank
Really
you so
good
much for
stuff.
having us here.
Yeah, of course, of course. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.
Same to you. Thank you, everybody, so much. Have a lovely day.